Real influencers might be over. Sounds crazy, right? But let me tell you, AI influencers are already taking the stage, pulling in millions of followers, landing brand deals, and here's the kicker, they don't even exist. And while corporations own most of them, making them feel fake and staged, the real disruption happens when real people start owning these AI personalities. And the best thing is they can steer all that traffic wherever you want, like a docuseries or any type of content. That's the shift we're diving into today. And if you think this sounds like some futuristic fantasy, stick around because it's happening right now, and it might just flip marketing upside down.
Welcome to the Digital Advisor Weekly Broadcast. Looking to boost your business with the latest trends, innovative tech, and must-have resources? Join us to discover how to successfully scale your practice and automate the process. Here to guide you is your host, the dynamic leader of Advisor Marketing Hub and managing partner at American Financial, Rob Souza.
Hey everyone, Rob Souza here for another episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly, the weekly show where we break down the trends, tools, and the big shifts shaping the future of digital marketing. Every week, we take one idea that's bubbling up from the online digital world, and we unpack what's really going on and show you how you can change the way that you think about building and growing your audience online. And today's topic is a big one. We're talking about AI influencers. And I know the adaptation of AI has been a roller coaster. So we've done the heavy lifting and vetted all of the trends that are happening in the AI space and presenting you with what we think is where you should focus your interest and energy so you're not chasing shiny objects, which I know exactly how that feels. But what we're talking about today with AI influencers is not what you would think of as commercial advertising or highly produced Facebook ads or Instagram ads, TikTok ads. We're diving in to how real people can own and operate these AI personalities and how they can drive massive waves of traffic to projects like a sales presentation or a docuseries or a masterclass. It's new, it's a little controversial, and honestly, it may be the wave of the future.
All of these influencers that you're seeing right now aren't even real, but they're making very real money just by using AI. And I've gone deep into the rabbit hole of AI influencers, studying how they're made, how they grow, and how they monetize it. I even created a few of my own influencers, and I will show you exactly what I learned along the way. Take Aitana Lopez, for example, the most recognizable AI influencer. She got over 375k followers, and Mia Zilu, she recently went viral and hit over 167k followers almost overnight. Then we have Maya Lange. She sits around 160k followers, but she might be making the most amount of money out of all of them. You know, big brands and real people are paying a lot of money to some dude that is running these pages in his basement. This can be anything like holding products, being at a specific event, or anything that you can imagine where you can put some kind of AI influence.
Now, do you remember what it was like to be in high school and watch the class clown or the star quarterback become part of the prom court and they become prom king or queen? Kind of scratch your head and wonder, how do they pull it off? Well, we're talking about replicating that with a combination of those personalities, but with actual AI influencers. They're not real people, but they do grab your attention. They make noise, they draw crowds, and most importantly, they get followers to show up. And so does it really matter if they're not showing up for you versus an AI influencer? At the end of the day, we all just want traffic to whatever we're trying to market online, whatever our offer is. And well, let's just break it down. Digital characters and trying to get real attention. They're computer built personalities with style, quirks, and backstory. a life that imaginative life that they've lived with all of the lived experiences that come with it. Fans treat them like actual people. They comment, share. In fact, like the biggest trend is like the baby talking head videos. I just watched one of Joe Rogan interviewing Donald Trump, but it was two AI babies having a conversation. It was hilarious. I shared it with like 5 people. It's viral. So that's why people do treat them as entertainment, and it's very, very shareable. All right. And to my second point, famous examples that you've probably seen. And if you haven't, we'll show you Lil McQuella, who has and I hope I said your last name right, Lil. She can't be offended. She's AI anyways. Over 3 million fans dropping singles. That's music. Showing up in fashion campaigns. And there's Emma and the Pink Bob Japanese influencer showing up in magazines and collabs. Imagine an AI actually collabing, actually showing up at a TED Talk and making a presentation on screen as if it's a real speaker. There we go. As if it's a real speaker. And that is where things are getting really, really interesting. That you can have a headline speaker that is AI. What's the difference? How many times have you shown up to an event and 1 or 2 speakers can't make it, so they go ahead and pipe them in via live stream, and then they give their presentation? What's the difference? Probably the AI is more controllably entertaining, right? So why do marketers love them? Well, because there's no sick days or vacation requests, and they're available 24/7. They don't sleep. And they're perfectly on brand if you make sure that they are controlling the input. You can make sure they're perfectly on brand and don't demand any medical or retirement benefits. That's a plus, right? In plain English, AI influencers are digital celebrities. I can't even believe I'm saying this. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even imagined it. But they're people or AI characters that people are really taking seriously. And brands see them as traffic opportunity machines that never sleep. They never stop. And it's amazing what their capability is.
Look, I tried being a regular influencer. It's exhausting. You got to post 3 times a day, stay on trend, and dance in the middle of Target.
See? And that only got 55 views. Not sustainable at all.
Hello, I'm Nova, your friendly AI personality. I never sleep, I never complain, and I'll promote your docuseries at 3 a.m. while you're drooling on your pillow.
And the wild part? People watch. They click, they comment, traffic goes crazy for these AI influencers. Let me get a yeehaw!
Okay, so let's talk about why the current traditional live, real influencer marketing, what its downside is. So let's be real. Trying to build an audience big enough to drive traffic is kind of like trying to build a house with Jenga blocks. One of my favorite games, family games. It looks like a lot of fun. And at first, it's funny and a lot of fun, but it starts to get more and more stressful because you feel like one wrong piece and it could cause a whole thing to come tumbling down. So maybe you hire an established influencer so that you don't have to go through that process to drive traffic to your sales page. But here's the problem with that. Human influencers are expensive, and it's a guess. It's a roller coaster. When they get it right, you get traffic. When they don't, you don't. And it's unpredictable. One day they're posting like fire, and the next day they're in the headlines for saying something really dumb on Twitter that affects your brand or makes you and your brand look bad. Brands pay insane amounts of money, hoping that that influencer's followers will care enough to go ahead and click and turn it into an actual lead. It's like paying full price for a lottery ticket. Do you really want to gamble? Now, corporate AI influencers, and we've seen these, like the characters we've seen on the Liberty ads, Liberty Insurance, or what is it? Emu, whatever it is. Okay. So corporate, yeah, they may be entertaining, but it's a lot like plastic fruit. Sure, they're good. They look good on the shelf, but bite into one, fake, flavorless plastic, no juice, right? It's nothing behind except the facade. And I know if you're a financial advisor and you've watched financial ads in the last few years, how they all sound the same, no differentiator, except for maybe a corporate character that's been created in commercials. Well, when audiences know that it's a faceless brand that's pushing leads to random consultants or service agents, the trust factor goes way down. They're harder to convert. And let's be honest, I think we all can kind of smell the manufactured vibe from a distance, and we're really not interested in what are really difficult leads because it doesn't always translate when you're doing faceless marketing. If you're on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about because there's dozens of posts and ads promising to get you a certain amount of qualified leads, guaranteed 3 to 5 leads a day. And I've learned I can't trust which of these posts that I've never heard of any of them can actually deliver quality leads. Now, I know I have spent tens of thousands of dollars learning which ones don't. I'm sure you've experienced that as well. So there's a trust gap. Fans follow humans for authenticity, and they're looking for their flaws and all because they want to see if it's real. They want to know if they can trust you, trust the brand. And they follow AI characters for novelty in the entertainment piece. So now we're combining kind of corporate and personal influencer, but you get to control the script. And neither option by themselves gives you that sweet spot of trust and the consistency that actually drives traffic. Bottom line, right now, influence marketing is stuck between two bad dance partners, right? Unless you feel like I give a little charity to the girl who needs a little encouragement. Humans who cost too much and then there's no guaranteed results, take that risk. Or you could do the corporate risk where AI is very, very polished, entertaining, but there's nothing behind the message and typically just gets looky-loos and they don't typically stick around. Either way, it feels like trying to pick a juicy watermelon at the grocery store. Like I've done all the tricks. Like, does it have bee stings, or you knock on the watermelon and then you get home and there's that moment of running the knife through the watermelon and it's not red, it's pink, and it's not juicy at all. It's frustrating. It's kind of like picking avocados too. I'm bad at both. We'll let my wife do that because she's much better than I am. All right. So as always, we'll be answering questions throughout today's live cast. So let's hit the first question. Jack, are human influencers really worth the high price if they can still flop? Well, that's a depends question, and it depends on who it is and how much you trust them. How much experience do you have with them? It is a gamble. It's a calculated risk. But for me, it's the price tag that makes me not want to take that risk. I'm not interested in gambling with my money. So hopefully that answers that question, because we're going to go to the next video.
Human influencers. Expensive, unpredictable, but at least they're real. See? Messy. Corporate AI influencers. Perfectly shine, zero flavor. Delicious if you're a robot. And paying both of them. It's like this lotto ticket. You scratch and pray the followers care. So influencer marketing right now is just broken fruit salad. And you are still hungry.
Now let's talk about the shift that we've been talking about the last 15 minutes. Let's break it down though. Real people is what we're suggesting is real people owning AI influencers, and what is the benefit of this? And I think it combines both worlds. Picture this. Instead of a big faceless brand running AI influencer like it's some overproduced commercial, like taking a stab at being funny. An AI by itself, they can't replicate humor. It doesn't have nuance. And imagine regular people, yes, people like you, stepping in and giving AI characters real personality, real flavor, real backstory that's consistent with your brand's personality. And if you could bring that and combine the two, I think you could combine the best of both worlds. It's like the difference between listening to elevator music or streaming your favorite playlist to the sound system at the party. See, when that happens, people get to hear, oh, that's your favorite song? Oh, you like that song? People get to know you and your preferences because your input is allowing them to get to know more about you and your brand. So that's the powerful influence that you can actually create without all the work. Now, one's generic background noise, and the other feels engaging, alive, unpredictable, creates curiosity. What are your favorite songs? What's your favorite genre? It creates conversations, debates, and kind of like I don't like rap and people debate me because I like country music. It creates engagement, and that's the whole point. And it's way more fun when you get to share your own personality. All right, here's three reasons why the shift flips the script. That's a tongue twister. AI gets scale, humans, and soul. Okay, so combining all three is where the power comes in. AI handles the grind, posting every day, never burning out, never calling in sick. Human owner injects the personality, humor, opinions, and options. And those little imperfections, that help you know when something's real or are authentic. If it's too polished, seems too good to be true. And instead of scrolling past, it'll grab your attention and give you a chance to showcase your brand or your personality. 2, it helps you go from corporate cutouts to actual real life community conversation based around your personality or the personality you put into your AI influencer. Instead of one brand approved mascot shoving ads in your face, you've got dozens of unique personalities all buzzing around you or buzzing around the same offer. And maybe that's where I kind of go rewind a little bit. I'm not talking about creating one mascot or one AI influencer. I'm talking about creating a variety of social influencers that can drive traffic. Because if one influencer is recommending you, how much of a difference then if there's 6 AI influencers? And also, you can segment your audience because one AI influencer is going to attract a certain group of people, and another AI influencer is going to attract a different type of people. So you may be able to run multiple niches with multiple influencers that will connect with multiple crowds. And so that's the versatility of what we're talking about. Try to do this in real life and it would never happen because it's too time consuming. I'm trying to read comments as they come. They're coming quickly. So if I don't catch it live, we will make sure that we follow up right afterwards. We'll reply to every comment. All right. So it's going to help you go from either the corporate feel or the all AI third-party human, and it's going to allow you to create a community of those AI influencers so that you're reaching the most amount of people possible, creating the largest community and audience of a wide variety of people, and pointing all that traffic back to your brand. And finally, the third is the bridge effect. And think of it like building a bridge between two worlds. The consistency and reach of AI with the credibility and relatability of real people. Done right, this combo makes audiences curious, entertained, instead of skeptical. And trust builds traffic faster than any ad campaign ever can. In short, the shift isn't about replacing humans with AI. It's about handing the steering wheel of these AI personas to real people like you. And when that happens, suddenly you've got traffic driving machines powered by actual authenticity. Again, because it came from you. I also want to remind you that we have posted a poll on LinkedIn. It's been up there for a few days. And the poll is, who do you think will dominate the AI influencer marketing the most in 2025? So that's a copy of the poll. It's interesting to see. We'd love for you to go over to LinkedIn and go ahead, and we're going to keep it up for 2 more days, and then we'll announce the results of that poll during our workshop masterclass on Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific. All right, you can still vote. You have till Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific. Producer.
Man, you won't believe what I found out today. Corporate AI influencers are like watching a bunt that never leaves the infield. Consistent, polished, but boring. Wow. So it's like the last game we watched. Remember when I was running late and thought I missed something exciting? Turns out I didn't miss a thing.
Yeah, it's all safe plays and no spark.
Now imagine real people running those AI influencers. Same tech, but with actual personality. That's like hitting a home run, don't you think?
Okay, yeah. I'd follow that.
So what? Thank you, Marie. Appreciate that. So why this works in driving traffic? I love to use the analogy of a movie theater. Have you ever been in a movie theater and you're like, I'm going to be good. I'm just going to get some water and I'm not going to spend $40 at the snack stand, and you try and be disciplined, but the smell of popcorn purposefully being pumped into the theater is making you crave popcorn. They do that on purpose, by the way. But think of it like if you had multiple influencers, multiple crowds. It's like having dozens of popcorn machines and putting them where the crowd of people that you want to attract all over town and leading them to where you want them to be. Different smells, different crowds, but everyone's walking towards a movie theater or your presentation or your master class, whatever it is that you're trying to draw them towards. So here's a 3-step overview. I'm going to make it quick. Multiple voices equal bigger reach. Instead of one influencer, you got to have a chorus of AI personas. 2, you'll get consistency without burnout because AIs don't forget to post. They don't cancel last minute. They don't get sick. Now, 3, your human spark that you can inject into an AI influencer that can scale. Real people injecting quirks and personality that make audiences pay attention. And the AI keeps everything polished and moving. And one last one, you'll have a built-in sharing effect because as people are entertained, you grab their attention, they're entertained, and they connect, they'll share it. It's shareable and it's like snowballs, and that's how things go viral. Big picture, this model works because it blends trust, consistency, and reach into one system. And instead of hoping one influencer catches fire, you've got a whole squad of quietly fanning the flames of your sales presentation, masterclass, docuseries, whatever it is that you're doing. And we have one more question that we'll try and squeeze in if we can. It sounds like that's way too much work. Can your VA or service create this for advisor? Yes, and that is a great question. We do have VAs that are helping develop these AI influencers and then partnering with advisors who help write the scripts. And then the influencer then who is built again by a VA that you can partner with, and we can help you completely pull you out of the process with the exception of the script writing. All right. One final question, and then we got to wrap up. No. Okay. So I'm going to skip it. And let's go to the final video before we do the actual wrap up.
Human influencers are like one popcorn machine. If it breaks, no popcorn, no crowd. That is so true. AI influencers run by real people? That's traffic, partner. Everybody follows the smell.
All right. Let's zoom out for one quick moment before I wrap up. Imagine AI influencers as a shiny new sports car. It's fast, it's flashy, and it can take you places that a bike or two-wheel drive or slower vehicle can't take you. But if you don't learn how to drive it properly, you're going to end up stalling at red lights or backing into mailboxes, just like when I was teaching my kids to drive. And that's the balance here. Huge upside, but without all the challenges and risks. So let's talk about takeaway. The takeaways is that the opportunity is massive, it's scalable, it's community-powered traffic with a staying power that will continue to produce for you, unlike advertising at which you have to keep feeding the beast with cash. But to get the upside, you got to steer carefully in the right direction and learn how the process works, like driving a car, like a manual car. Think of it like flying a drone, like a drone swarm. Like, it's amazing if you've ever watched one of these things, but it's also horrifying when they start crashing into each other. Saw that during 4th of July. It was not fun. So what's the outlook? The next wave of traffic won't be rented from ads any longer. We can cut those handcuffs off. It'll be built by communities running their own AI personalities, like a pit crew that could be tuning up the vehicle necessary to drive traffic whenever necessary. It happens automatically. You can make fast adjustments, consistent output, and a crowd that actually wants the checkered flag. Your sales presentation, right? Because that's ultimately needs to be the result. So what's next? From one voice, we've got to start building networks. Small creators will manage fleets of AI personas, each targeting a niche and linking back to a single destination. And we're going to get storytelling personas, of course. Audiences won't just follow accounts. They'll follow characters with real stories and opinions and idiosyncrasies and certain type of humor. And it's going to eventually build a community of people, even if it's small. If it translates the right qualified leads, what does it matter? You just want the right traffic in the right place. So it doesn't need to be millions of random people who are following some sort of sports star actor. It just needs to be somebody who's being followed by the right people. And 3, tooling gets push button. What do I mean by that? I mean the setup and content pipelines will go from like a total headache in setup to totally template driven, copy, paste, repeat, and no more tinkering and frustration with trying to create a new funnel every time you're trying to promote a new service to a new audience or a new audience. It builds trust by design because of the combination of the two that we've talked about today, and it's evergreen. Evergreen meaning put it on autopilot and it'll continue to drive traffic for as long as your influencer continues to post and point back to you. The bottom line, the traffic game is shifting from one celebrity blast to a coordinated chorus that never loses its voice. And if you're not convinced, just watch Shark Tank and all the TV show Shark Tank and all the companies that will pitch in Shark Tank and say, "Oh, well, we had one post that went viral in it and we did an extra $500,000 in sales." But then they struggled to ever go viral again, and they can't seem to recreate that pop in traffic because it was one single viral post from one single account or influencer, right? Bottom line is you got to create a coordinated chorus or a community of people pointing your direction to make sure that you never lose your voice because you have other people amplifying and repeating what you say. So join us this Friday, because every Friday we put on a workshop or masterclass for you to apply everything that we talk about in Digital Advisor Weekly. We're going to pull out all the stops, show you the whole entire process, and we're even going to show you our private community that's going to be launched next month. So we're going to be inviting the best video creators and editors who are putting together these AI influencers, and we're going to introduce them to our community of advisors, life insurance agents, anybody in the sales industry, so you can see the partnership that can be put together to create those influencers to drive traffic back to you. That's going to be Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific. And we will go step by step and give you an in-depth process you can follow to set up everything that we've talked about today: strategy, tooling, scripts, distribution. But bring a notebook and make sure you're awake, because it's going to go quick. So thanks for giving me an extra few minutes today. And that's it for today's episode. I can't wait to dive deeper on Friday to show you how we can create your own AI social influencer, whether you're a VA or some sort of sales agent. We are going to show you step by step in the masterclass this Friday, 8 a.m. Hope to see you there. You do have to register in advance. Check out the link in any of the show notes or descriptions. Until then, stay curious, stay creative, and I will see you in the digital world.